Hey everybody, I'm Flux Ascension and I play Rhianwyn Halcyne, or Rhea for short, in the Final Chorus, the current campaign that the Phoenix Gaming Guild is streaming on Friday nights. Be sure to rejoin us on Twitch after this intense session at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Friday, April 24th, 2026. Today I'll be recapping Session 4, and in this one, we begin with our heroes falling for what feels like 2 weeks. While Demo sang about free falling and Vosh screamed, Rhea cast Featherfall, slowing the descent. Drifting down safely, they waited for an hour, then another half hour, long enough that it started to feel like they were never going to stop falling. Leon looked around and noticed that the door was now below them, oddly enough. So he threw everyone some rope and then with his strength and sheer will, anchored the group to the wall using his blades. While that was happening, Demo noticed that the ceiling looked an awful lot like a floor. Now, with an objective, Leon began scaling the wall, pulling everyone up with him, one sword digging in after the other until he reached a ledge where he felt the gravity shift. He shouted to the group, and we all made our way to the upside-down floor, some more gracefully than others. As everyone reoriented themselves, they found a wall written in Abyssal that no amount of magical translation could decode. This wall can only be read if you natively speak Abyssal, which none of the party does. Also along this wall were 4 bells, 1 purple, 1 silver, 1 white, and 1 gold. Being unable to read the presumed instructions, or the warning, the party debated and discussed what the colors could potentially be. After much discourse, it was revealed that these colors also show prominently in a painting which hangs in the headmaster's office. This painting is of none other than the Archblade. Why is this important? Well, we decided that the bells correspond to the colors of the Archblade's clothing in the painting. The Song of War that he possessed is the only item in the painting that was gold, so Rhea decided to try the gold bell first. A voice echoed back saying,
"Not the right pattern."
Demo tried the purple bell, since that is the color of their dorm, our team's clothing, and apparently also the Archblade. And it worked. The wall shifted like a painting and the team arrived in the past. And it wouldn't be until much later that they learned that this was actually the past and not a vision, not a memory, but the actual past. This was High Throne, still standing in its original location in what would one day become the Darkened Shores. And their dorm, their cursed, purple, allegedly haunted dorm, was also here, inhabited by none other than the Archblade himself. The man inside introduced himself as Cale Thorne, a student. Charming in a sort of way, and a little distracted, and on his way to a tournament match. The party knew exactly who he would become, and Vosh, much to Rune's chagrin, told him, well, everything. The songs eventually are created, Cale defeats the song, and disappears in the process. Cale, unsettled by this prophetic information, left quickly and abruptly after that. The party followed him out, at which point the sunny day suddenly transformed into night. Rhea looked up and noticed that the sky had no stars. She knew what that meant. She had read it somewhere. The night the power songs were made, there were no stars. They were pulled with the crowd to the tournament arena, and in the stands they spotted all 3 of the original headmasters. Donis, the halfling bard, Derek, the elf artificer, and Eternus, the human wizard, all 3 alive and present. As the party made their way to the seats behind the headmasters, they could be heard quietly disagreeing with each other. Down in the arena, Cale was preparing to face 2 teams of 6 students, 12 students total, and 50 direwolves at Donis's request. Among those students, they recognized a familiar Air Genasi face, Zephyr. Voshk fell out of his seat, but not because they had found Zephyr. As he hit the ground, he convulsed grotesquely. Then, as suddenly as he had started, he stopped and sat up, speaking in a voice that wasn't his, something older, potentially something dark. It said,
"And so it begins."
And then it was gone. Voshk had no memory of it. This was when a younger Derek, the current and only headmaster in our timeline, tapped Rune on the shoulder.
And as you turn your head around, you lock eyes. "You're awfully familiar."
Oh, no, I don't think so. Nope.
Rune denied it, 100%. Then the portals appeared and pulled them back. They materialized in the present, not back inside their dorm, but in the middle of the arena directly after the Crown Jewels had finished their exhibition match. As the party materialized, the portals did not close behind them. Instead, 3 direwolves came through. Then a loud bang and shaking, and the viewing towers of the arena collapsed. Silas and Lyra left. Ronan and Mira didn't get that option. The battle was messy and fast, and the party won it clearly, with Zephyr's help, which made the immediate arrest afterward feel particularly unfair, especially in Demo's eyes. They were led to a private parlor where they were placed in front of Veltrix, a crown-appointed administrator who had some very pointed questions. Derek walked in, saved the party from revealing too much, and made it clear his students would not be answering any questions without him present. The result was a compromise no one loved. Both parties, the Cursed Dorm and the Crown Jewels, were assigned the Try Challenge, 3 trials, to be completed either separately in 3 groups or all together, each trial, one after the other. In the meantime, neither group is permitted back to their respective lodgings. The cellar is home for all of them this evening. Then, after a brilliant suggestion by Rune for Derek to escort the group to keep Demo in check, Derek found a moment alone with the party, where they told him what actually happened. He confirmed it. They had traveled through time, and as Rune kept saying, the butterfly effect took place. Things had changed. Here's what's different now. Donis is alive and serving as the second headmaster. 6 power songs were created that night, not 4, as was previously believed. Rhea apparently now has had a relationship with Lyra, and Silas hates her for it. Myra and Voshk are a very cute couple together. The bribe and threat at Embermug never happened in this timeline. Only the party and Zephyr seem to know any of this. So we'll pick up right there where we left off. See you at the table.